Hello and welcome to CyberOne Training and Certification. If you're here for training today, but you're interested in learning more about our certification program and how you can become qualified as a CyberOne specialist, if you're an existing client, you can reach out to your account manager, or either way, you can just email us at support@cb1security.com. So today we're looking at our risk management module again, and we're going to be focused on that enterprise risk management capacity. So that's this top level in our diagram here. And we're going to be showing you how you can build out your strategic plans. These strategic plans are all the different aspects of the business where you want to monitor risk. And then the KRIs and KPIs, key performance indicators, risk metrics that you want to monitor to evaluate your risk. So here we thought we'd just provide you with a few examples of the different types of risk metrics used in industry. So these are some of the key risk indicators, key performance indicators. Some people say KRI, you say KRI, I say KPI. And in CyberOne, we call them all risk metrics just to put them under one umbrella. And these are different types of metrics that you might see by the different categories, from business resiliency through security risk, incident response, data security, and vulnerability management. So we're going to be working with a couple of strategic plans that incorporate these today. And so let's start by getting into our management platform. So as you can see, we're in our management platform, and as always, we're going to go to our top right to make sure we're in the right module and select risk management. And here we are in the strategic plans tab, where we can begin to add these different aspects of the business that we want to monitor. And as you can see, we have some added here already. So the process of adding a strat plan is very simple. Again, we can bulk upload these through a CSV or integrate with any of your systems with an API connection. Or simply you can add them one by one by the process of clicking on that new strat plan, naming that plan. So that might be a product, or maybe it's a portfolio if you're a finance company. And then you want to add the person who is going to be managing that strategic plan. So that could be the ERM manager or a member of that team. You can describe the portfolio or the product or strategic plan that you're adding. And then we simply click Save. And there you see we have a new status, so we have a new plan in place. And here we can begin to look at the different category or different options that we have in the strategic plan. So one of the things we might want to do is then, based upon the metrics that we're going to add, we might want to add some categories to this as well. So let's start by adding some new metrics. So to do that, we just simply click on New Metric. And then we have, that brings us to a drop-down menu where we can add the type of metric that we're going to be evaluating. So again, these can be customized to the organization if needed. And here are some of the default ones that we put in the system. So let's say currency. And as we put continue, then we begin to describe the metric name. So this is, what we're actually measuring. So that could be something like portfolio value and monitoring value of PF between a certain amount. And then next we can check this box here to show that we want it included in our risk score. So this will be, this metric will become part of our overall risk score for the strategic plan. We can uncheck that if we want to, but generally you want that included in your risk score as you're building out that risk process. And here we would put the collection instructions for the person who is actually going to provide us with those metrics if we're not doing this via a system data pool. any evidence that we might want them to provide to back up the report that they put in. And then the next thing we're going to do then is add another primary contact. This time, this is the person who is actually going to provide us with the metric result. And then we want to add our performance indicators here. So let's say the value is, we want to keep the value performing highly at 1 million. We're managing it at 750,000. We're nervous if it gets to 500,000. And we're very nervous if it drops below 350,000. We're going to collect this then manually because we're going to send this out to Margaret to get the results. And the frequency of this is we want to measure this on a, let's say, monthly basis. Again, you can choose here and set the cadence yourself. Then we just want to weigh that calibrator the same here. And we just simply click save. And there our first metric has been created. So next what we want to do is to activate this. And in order to do that, we have to say when we're going to start collecting this. So let's say we want it for the end of this week. We'll start there and we'll go on a monthly basis from there. So we just put the date in the next metric result date, and then we click save. And now you'll see we can activate this metric. And here you see it's ready to go. And now that we've activated it, what we can do is we only have to do this once, but we're going to kick off the workflow to send the notification to our primary contact. And we'll do click new metric with automation. Thereafter, once you've done that, based upon the cadence you've set, in this case monthly, a few days before, generally a week before, or depending on the cadence, a notification will go out to Margaret letting her know that she has to upload the next metric result. So then Margaret's going to get an email that looks something like this. And in that email, there's a link for Margaret to go to the portal and she can upload all of her metrics. So let's just click on that, take that to the portal. And here you'll see then that we come straight to our metrics tab in the portal, and here we have the instructions, the due date, and then we can simply enter that number. Let's say it's and add any files or evidence that we need to just to back that up as is requested by the collection instructions. We can also add comments here for the risk manager, and then we just simply click submit. Now if we go back into the system and we refresh, you'll see that metric result has been added, and I actually sent 2 out, so now I'm going to update this other one as well. So again, I would go back to my email here and just click on this link. That'll bring me back into my portal, and now I can do my next metric. And let's show that it's going up. And click submit. And then when we go back to our strategic plan record, you can see that we're starting to display the trend. So here it's green because that number is going up, which means the risk is actually decreasing. Therefore, the arrow trend is going down and is green. So if we go back to our strat plans and just quickly, we can see that there have been metrics added with any of these that have an actual risk score, and we can see the risk score here. And as we go into them, then we can actually see what the trends are by the different months, weeks, whatever that cadence is that's been added. And then if we want to begin to build out findings based upon those metrics and issues that we need to resolve to improve our performance, then what we can do is we want to make sure that we have categorized the different risks here. And as you can see, we have different risk categories that you can either create or search for. And we can just add them quite simply here by going to the category name and then adding that category that we want to add. And we fill that in. So that could be incident management or business resiliency, whatever it is, and we describe it. And then just click save. And then once we have created these categories and associated them to the strategic plan, when we go in and create a finding, you'll see that we can actually add the finding to that specific risk category. And that way the finding will attach to the strategic plan. So that's how we create that synergy with the risk management workflow and take ERM into issue management through the categories section. And of course, this also helps for building out your risk register as well, in that you can create categories of risks that match up and that can be then entered into your risk register and help you prioritize all of your different risks inside and outside of the organization. Okay, so just going back to strategic plans to wrap up for now. So again, very simple to just create these strategic plans. And then as we come into these different strat plans that we've created, we can add new metrics to them at any time. Those metrics, of course, can be many different things. They can be currency indicators, days of downtime for incidents, for example, number of phishing attacks, going back again to our different lists here. These can all be numbered and evaluated by percentages or currency or whatever that may be. And then once you've set up your your KRIs, your KPIs, your risk metrics, then you can start that collection process. And again, once you set it once, as we have here in all of our strat plans, you set that cadence once, and thereafter the system will do everything else for you. So that concludes our training for today. Thank you.